Good morning, all of you.
Good morning, ma'am.
Well, student, do you know your second internal dates?
Yes, ma'am. From 3rd Jan to 5th
Third,
Jan.
fourth, and fifth. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Uh, Most probably your semester exam is from, I think,
21st Jan.
21st of January. 21st of January. So your class will be dismissed on 7 days before that. That means, I think,
14th Jan.
14th. Around 14th, your class will be dismissed. Fine. So third, fourth, and fifth, you will have no class. I will get just one class on 7th of January and maybe on 12th of January, right? I will get
Yes,
just
ma'am.
two class in January, 7th and 12th. And in December 24th, no, I am not available. 31st I am available, but 31st I have to go to college for the moderation. So I don't know whether 31st I can take class or not.
On 29th.
No, from 24th to 29th I am not available. 31st I am available, but uh, for moderation duty I have to go to college. On 31st, on 3rd of January, on 4th of January. 31st January, 3rd January, and 4th January, I have to go to college for examination duties. And 5th of January, 5th of January, 5th of January, free রাখতে হবে. Okay. Then after today, I think 31st, I will not able to make myself free. Moderation duty is a huge duty. It will start from 10 and it will end at around 5 or 6. So after this, we will meet on 7th, right? 5th তো তোমাদের এক্সাম থাকবে, তো 5th তো হলো না, 7th and 12th. ওকে, টোটাল 3টে ক্লাস পাবো,
Yes,
isn't
ma'am.
it? আর কোনো ডেট দেখতে পাচ্ছ তোমরা? তোমরা কি কোনো ডেট দেখতে পাচ্ছ? After
Now,
today, I am not available from 24th to 29th. And 31st কলেজে যেতে হবে। সো তারপর তো তোমাদের এক্সাম 7th and 12th। এর বাইরে আর ডেট আছে কিছু? 31st
now,
ইভিনিং এ কিছু হবে? 31st ইভিনিং এ আমি কলেজ থেকে ফেরার পর যদি নেওয়া যায় কোনো ক্লাস। অবশ্য
past,
31st তো তোমরাই চাইবে না। 31st আবার 1st জানুয়ারি পরের দিন, 31st তো তোমরাই আর ইভিনিং এ চাইবে না। ঠিক আছে, ছেড়ে দিচ্ছি। হুম, ঠিক আছে। Okay, then let's do one thing. We have finished the knowledge representation part completely. We have finished the problem solving part also, just at AO star algorithm বলেছিলাম যে একটা প্রবলেম আমি করাবো, leave it. Now from today let's start the machine learning part. Okay, from today
okay,
let's
ma'am.
start the machine learning part. So
Okay, ma'am.
we will have 3 classes on machine learning today, 7th and 12th. লেটস অ্যাজিউম নাও যে আমাদের 3টে ক্লাসই পাবো, এর বেশি পসিবল মনে হচ্ছে না হবে, বিকজ ফ্রম 14th again your senior will have their semester examination, 5th sem and 7th sem will have their exam from 14th, so the exam duties will begin from 7th. ওদের ক্লাস শেষ হচ্ছে দেন 14th ওদের এক্সাম, দেন 7th 7th is their last class, I think 6th or 7th. So I have to finish their syllabus also. Date করবে না, fine. We will have 3 classes on machine learning. Then start from today. Fine. Okay. Starting from the beginning, what is machine learning? What? This is the preliminary slides that I have already shown you at my first class, right? I think you
Yes,
can
ma'am.
remember what is machine learning. Machine by Arthur Samuel. The traditional definition of machine learning is: machine learning is the field of study that gives computers or machines what the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. Fine. So machine learning is the field of study. So machine learning is a subject, is a different subject, but is a subset of AI. Understand why machine learning is a subset of AI? For making a machine or computer intelligent, you have to follow few steps like knowledge representation, like problem solving, and like the learning part also. The machine has the machine has to learn something. That learning part is belongs to this different subject called machine learning. Is a Machine learning has a vast domain actually. So the machine learning subject has got separated from the AI, and within this machine learning neural network and the deep learning, these are all the subset of the machine learning itself. Understand? একটা ছবি দেখিয়েছিলাম তোমাদের, this one,
Yes, ma'am.
this one. See the big domain, big circle. This light blue big circle is the AI. Understand? Within this AI, machine learning is a subset. Machine
Yes, ma'am.
learning is the part of AI. Within this machine learning, you will read the neural network. Okay. And the very popular term you have heard already, that is deep neural network or deep learning. Deep learning is the smallest part. This smallest circle is deep learning. So deep learning is a part of neural network. So you have to learn machine learning, then you have to learn neural network, then only you can go to inside of this deep learning or deep neural network. Understand? And also there are a few subjects that is running side by side: data science, big data analysis. All these subjects are, see, share something from each other. They are not completely separate subject. It cannot be. These subjects always share something from each other. Cloud computing also. Cloud computing is another domain. This all subjects are sharing something, some information from each other. Okay. So areas covered. Okay, I'm coming. So this is machine learning. The aim of machine learning, primary aim, you know this. Primary aim is to allow the computers run automatically. Okay, allow the computers to learn automatically. This term is very important, without human intervention or assistance, and adjust actions accordingly. This adjust actions accordingly means these actions will be taken at the problem solving part, right? First is knowledge representation. The machine has to gain knowledge, then learning. With the help of those knowledge, it has to learn, then problem solving. With the gain knowledge and the learning, it has to solve some problem. Next part is the action, linguistic representation. It has to express it by communication or by some action. Okay. So machine learning is based on the idea that there exist some patterns of data that were identified and used for future prediction. We will AI versus machine learning, fine. Take a screenshot, you will learn it by yourself. Done. Types of machine learning. Let's come to this main part. Types of machine learning: supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement. Reinforcement, unsupervised, and supervised. Fine. We will call this machine learning algorithms. There are three types of machine learning algorithms. We will read some of them. Some supervised algorithm we will read, some unsupervised algorithm we will read, some reinforcement we will read. I think reinforcement করার টাইম হবে না, সুপারভাইজডটাই মেন আমরা কয়েকটা দেখবো, unsupervised clustering. Okay, we will see. So what is supervised and what is unsupervised? Supervised is you have a teacher to teach you. Okay, you have a teacher to teach you. The teacher has told you that you have some apple and some oranges and some bananas are with you in a basket. You have to separate them. Understand? You have some oranges, some bananas, and some apples are in a basket. You have to separate them. Fine. So how you can do is in supervised learning algorithm, there is a teacher. The teacher will tell you that the red things are apples, the orange things are banana, and the yellow things, the orange things are orange, and the yellow things are banana. Okay? These are called labeling. These are called in supervised algorithm, these are called labeling. You have some labeling with you. You have some labels with you. One supervisor or a teacher guide you every time. The maybe one labeling will be there, maybe two labeling will be there. The red round things are apple. The orange color round things are oranges. The long and yellow things are banana. Fine. So now you will go to the basket, you will match one by one. This is red, this is round. Throw it in the apple basket. This is orange and round. Throw it in the orange basket. This is long in shape and this is yellow. Throw it in the banana basket. Understand? This is supervised learning algorithm. Clear, all of
Yes,
you?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Clear? Let's come to unsupervised now. Again, in the basket, you have some apples, some oranges, some bananas. In unsupervised, no one is there to guide you. Okay? And no labeling is there. So, how can you understand? How can you separate this from each other? You will admit. Okay, now যাও, এবার যাও, দরজাটা বন্ধ করে দিও। Okay, now in the unsupervised algorithm, in a basket you have these three things, these three fruits. There are no one to tell you which one is what color and the shapes. No one is to tell you. You have to understand, you have to learn by your own. How? Pick one by one. This is red, this is orange, this is yellow. These three things are different from each other. So these three things cannot go in a single basket. You have to understand this by in your own. You don't know which one is apple, which one is orange, which one is banana. You cannot label it. In the previous case, you precisely know this is apple, this is orange, this is banana. But now you just see it, feel the shape, see the color, and distinguish from one to another. Okay? So you will name it class 1. Red and round thing will go to class 1. Orange and round thing will go to class 2. And The long and yellow thing go to class 3. Understand? You have
Yes,
to
ma'am.
judge by your own, unsupervised. There is no teacher, no supervisor, no leveling. Just you will pick one by one, you will judge by yourself, okay? And you will decide, you will just separate one to each other. You don't know the name of the fruit or anything. Just you are here, you are not classifying, you are clustering. সুপারভাইজারে প্রপারলি ক্লাসিফিকেশন হয়, আনসুপারভাইজডে only clusters form হয়, clusters of red things, clusters of orange things, clusters of yellow things. Understand? বোঝা যাচ্ছে?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
This is unsupervised. What is reinforcement? See, the line has been written, the main line has been written, learn from mistakes. Learn from mistakes. You can রিইনফোর্সমেন্টটা একটু বুঝতে প্রবলেম হয় এক্সাম্পল ছাড়া, তাও আমি চেষ্টা করছি। Some rewards are in front of you, positive rewards or negative rewards. Positive rewards means you will get some money, negative rewards mean you have to give some money or you will get some punishment. Understand? This is called reward. Okay, if you will do some mistake in unsupervised, you can do mistake. In unsupervised also you can do mistake. There are no one to teach you, you can do mistake. Supervised also you can do mistake, okay, but there are no one to punish you. But in unsupervised, if you will do some mistake, you will get some punishment, and from this punishment you have got a punishment and you will not do this thing again. Understand? Reinforce বোঝাতে পেরেছি?
Yes, ma'am.
There are several paths, there are several way to reach to your goal. Okay, একটা starting point and one destination is in front of you, and there are 5 paths. First, follow path 1. After some time you will see one obstacle is there. This is your mistake, you will learn from this mistake. Back, path 2. Okay, you will fall in a pothole, again mistake, punished hole. Back, path 3, you can reach the goal. This is your reward. তো এই ধরনের যদি অ্যালগরিদম হয়, this is called reinforcement algorithm. Okay, I think example just understandingটা হলো what is supervised, what is unsupervised, and what is reinforcement. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
এবার কয়েকটা অ্যালগরিদম দেখো। এখানে ডেফিনেশনটা একটু বুঝতে পারবে কিনা পড়ে নাও। Supervised learning algorithms try to model, দাঁড়াও এক মিনিট, লাস্টটা পড়ো। Here the human experts acts as a teacher where we feed the computer with training data. Okay, with training data আমরা ট্রেনিং দিচ্ছি, this is apple, this is the shape, this is the size, this is the color, and all this with training data. These are called training data containing the input predictors, and we show it the correct answers. We show it the correct answer. The correct answers are apple, orange, bananas. These are the correct answers. We have trained them and we have shown them the correct answers. Then from the data the computer should be able to run the patterns. Clear now? List of common algorithms are nearest neighbor algorithm, support vector machine algorithm, naive Bayes classification algorithm, decision trees, linear regression, neural networks, and so on. রিগ্রেশনটা আমার পড়ানোর ইচ্ছে ছিল, বাট আই থিঙ্ক রিগ্রেশনটা আমি পড়াতে পারবো না, সময় লাগে বেশি। ডিসিশন ট্রিটাও তাই, প্রচুর টাইম লাগে ডিসিশন ট্রি পড়াতে, একটা ক্লাসেও পারবো না হয়তো এক্সাম্পল দিয়ে পড়াতে। সো উই উইল গো টু নিয়ারেস্ট নেইবার পড়বো, সাপোর্ট ভেক্টর মেশিন পড়বো, নিউরাল নেটওয়ার্ক তো মাস্ট পড়তেই হবে, আর নেইভ বেস পড়বো, ফাইন। আমরা এই চারটে পড়বো, নিয়ারেস্ট নেইবার, সাপোর্ট ভেক্টর মেশিন, নিউরাল নেটওয়ার্কস অ্যান্ড ডিসিশন ট্রিজ উইল ডিসকাস লেটার। ডিসিশন ট্রিজ না, সরি, ডিসিশন ট্রিজটা ক্লাস হলে আমি পড়িয়ে দিই, বাট এখানে বোর্ড লাগবে আমার পড়াতে। নেই বেশ, 1 মিনিট। Okay, so this is supervised, unsupervised. Unsupervised algorithm, I have already said, these are not classification, these are called clustering. Okay. So these are unlabeled data. The computer is trained with unlabeled data, learning patterns in the input when no specific output values are supplied. Data are unlabeled and no output values are supplied. Here, there is no teacher at all. Actually, the computer might be able to teach you new things after it learns from patterns in data. Understand now? It will learn by itself. It will learn by the pattern in the data. These algorithms are particularly useful in cases where the human expert doesn't know what to look for in the data. Okay. তো কে মিনস অ্যান্ড সি মিনস, এই দুটোর মধ্যে যে কোনো একটা আমি তোমাদের পড়াবো, আইদার কে মিনস অর সি মিনস। কে মিনস ক্লাস্টারিং অ্যালগরিদম অ্যান্ড সি মিনস ক্লাস্টারিং অ্যালগরিদম। So this is supervised. See, you know these are apple. The color, the shape, size, you know. You know these are oranges. You know these are bananas. Okay, you can distinguishly classify them. These are called classification. But in unsupervised algorithm, this type of shapes are in one bag. This type of shapes or this parameters can go in another bag. These types of these parameters can go in another bag. So these are not classification, these are called clustering. Understand what is clustering, what is classification, what is supervised, what is unsupervised? Supervised flow chart দরকার নেই, flow chart দরকার নেই। Reinforcement. Okay. এটা পড়ি। Reinforcement algorithm aims at using observation gathered from the interaction with the environment. Important line. Reinforcement learning aims at using observation gathered from the interaction in the environment. ওই যে বললাম কোন পাথটা ফলো করছে, either it is gaining something or it is losing something, it has to gaining the knowledge from the environment. Do and understand, get punished and learn from the environment, and you will learn it by itself. Okay. From the interaction with the environment to take actions that would maximize the reward or minimize the risk. ঠিক আছে? It will take action accordingly. Reinforcement learning algorithm continuously learns from the environment in an iterative fashion. Iteration হচ্ছে one after another, maybe after looping 4 times, it will follow the correct path. Maybe after looping 100 time, it will get the correct path. Okay, it is gaining knowledges from the environment itself. In this process, the agent or the algorithm learns from its experiences of the environment until it explores the full range of possible states. Clear? Example যেটা বলেছি সেটা থেকে ক্লিয়ার? আর এটার অ্যালগরিদমটার এক্সাম্পল হচ্ছে ক্লিউ লার্নিং। আমার এত দূর করানোর টাইম হবে না। ক্লিউ লার্নিং আমি ক্লাসে করাই, বাট এবার তোমাদের যা স্ট্যাটাস, আমার ক্লিউ লার্নিং এ যাওয়ার টাইম হবে না, ক্লিয়ারলি বলে দিলাম। মেবি তাহলে আমি কোথায় যেতে পারবো? আমার মনে হচ্ছে আমি তোমাদের পড়াতে পারবো সাপোর্ট ভেক্টর মেশিন, নিয়ারেস্ট নেইবার, নেইব বেস নিউরাল নেটওয়ার্ক। নিউরাল নেটওয়ার্ক ইজ ভাস্ট, সো আমাকে খুব চুজ করতে হবে। only supervised learning a neural network পড়াতে পারবো। So support vector machine, nearest neighbor, naive base and neural network, and here one of this, either K-means or C-means. Okay, let's start. আর আমি কোথাও কিছু বলছি না, কিছু বলছি না। areas covered দেখে নিও। machine learning applications, fine. Let's come directly in support vector machine. What is support vector machine? One type of supervised algorithm. Now we are in supervised algorithm. Okay, try to understand, we are in supervised algorithm. So supervised algorithm is a classifier type algorithm. Okay, when you will read supervised algorithm, the term classification will be seen. Fine. Let's see. Support vector machine or SVM, commonly we name it SVM. SVM have been successfully used for both linear and non-linear classification. We will read the linear case only. The linear SVM separate a set of data points into two classes, level +1, level -1. Clear? Or labeled data নিয়ে কাজ করবে। So it will separate the data points into two classes, level +1 and level -1. Fine. This third point I am coming. Now see this picture. See this picture. Some points are there, some random points are there. Okay, these are data sets. Understand? Some random points are there, these are data sets. And with the help of support vector machine, linear support vector machine, you have to classify these data sets into two classes. You have to classify these data sets into two classes. Fine. Apple and orange, these two buckets are with you, and you have to put the apples in the apple basket and the oranges in the orange basket. This is your problem. These are some data set. With the SVM, you have to classify this into two classes. See this line, this in between line. This in between line and the plane drawn surrounding this line is called hyperplane. In support vector machine, this plane is called as hyperplane. এটা একটা 2D স্পেসের কথা বলছি। support vector machine is vast. আমরা simplest case বলছি, linear support vector machine in 2D space. Okay, it can be drawn in 3D space, it can be non-linear. Only two types of classifications we are doing here. Multi-layer classification করা যায়। So আমরা simplest case বলছি, এটা বুঝলেই হবে আমাদের। So this plane is called what? Hyperplane. Okay, and these datas lying on the boundary or the hyperplanes are called support vectors. See, this are called support vectors. ঠিক আছে, টার্মগুলো বোঝা যাচ্ছে? This plane is called hyperplane, and the datas or the points lying on the boundaries or the hyperplane are called support vectors. ठीक है. So how it is classifying? So how it is classifying? এই ছবিটাতে বোঝা যাচ্ছে the red class and the blue class. Fine. So first you have to draw a line. First you have to draw a line. This is optimal hyperplane. Now you are drawing the hyperplane. This is a line. From the line you are drawing the plane. So you have to expand it in both sides like this. Clear? First draw a line. This is hyperplane. You have to maximize it, or you have to enhance it in both sides. You are drawing the plane. Okay. How much
Yes, ma'am.
you can, how much you can expand it? কত দূর করতে পারো? Until it is touching the 2 points of the two classes. Until it touches the 2 points of two classes. এর বেশি আর তুমি বাড়াতে পারো না. This is the your maximum margin, right? So now it will touch the vectors or the points at the margins. These points are called support vectors. ঠিক আছে? This is how support vector machine works. Hyperplane এর maximum margin, and it will touch the support vectors, and the left side of the hyperplane is one class, the right side of the hyperplane is another class. Two classes has been separated. Understand? This is support vector machine. Now এবার +1 একটা ক্লাস বলেছিল, -1 একটা ক্লাস বলেছিল, রাইট? এবার একটা ফাংশনে আসবো, সব বলছি. Let x the points h1, h2, hn transpose be any point 2 mapped into +1, -1. These are the classes. Okay, এই পয়েন্টগুলো random point. It is to be mapped in either +1 class or -1 class by a linear function. The function is hyperplanar function by a linear function f of h w b. What is this? H is the points or the data. The functionের মধ্যে h আছে. H is the data points. What is w? W is a weight vector. W is a weight vector, and b is a bias term. Okay, bias term is a scalar. Bias term is a scalar. Weight is a vector. Where w is w1 to wn is weight vector. B is a bias term. So what is the function? Function is wh plus b. Okay, signum function of wh plus b. This is the function. This is the function. The function consists of the points, the weight vectors, and the bias term. So what are support vector? What are hyperplane C? The data points that are situated at the margins of the two boundaries of the linear classifier are called support vector. Understand? I have mentioned two boundaries of the linear classifier are called support vector. What is hyperplane? In 2 dimension, we are reading only the 2D case. So in 2 dimension, the straight line that segregates the two pattern classes is usually called hyperplane. Hyperplane classify the two classes. Okay. Now this is the basic mathematics. So your goal is maximize the hyperplane as much as possible. তাই তো? Your goal is to maximize the margin or maximize the hyperplane as much as you can, so that the two classes can be this is red class and this is blue class. These two classes can be distinguished easily. যত বেশি মার্জিন হবে তত দূরে যাবে ক্লাসগুলো, and you can see the two classes separately. So this is your goal, to maximize this marginal width. Let us now select 2 points x plus x minus at two support vectors, support vector point x plus and x minus, such that wx plus b is plus 1 class and এটা একটু সরে যাচ্ছে পয়েন্টগুলো, wx plus b is plus 1 class. সি আমি তোমাদের আউটলাইন করে দিচ্ছি, এটা দেখো, support vector such that for x equal to x plus point wx plus b is falling under plus 1 class, and similarly for x equal to x minus point, comma হবে এখানে comma, wx minus plus b is falling under minus 1 class. আবার বলছি শোনো, let us now select 2 points x plus and x minus. These points are lying on the hyperplane, so these are two support vectors such that at the first support vector x plus, that means say in the red class, wx plus b is falling under plus 1 class, and in the blue class for x equal to x minus, comma, wx minus plus b is falling under minus 1 class. Now clear it is, এখানে একটা comma দিয়ে দাও। Now
Yes, ma'am.
the separation between the two support vectors lying in plus 1 and minus 1 class called marginal width. Marginal width is m. This is marginal width, right? Plus 1 class and plus minus 1 class and marginal width. So marginal width is, this is the formula. wx plus b is plus 1 class minus this one divided by this. Okay. The main objective in linear support vector machine is to maximum the marginal width. Clear? We know that we have to maximize the marginal width. So we have to minimize this w. Right? Weight vector. We have to minimize the weight vector. So we have to minimize this half of w transpose w. This is a general equation. So this is all about support vector machine. If you have any question, tell me now. আমাদের কোনো রিভিশনের টাইম থাকবে না। এক মিনিট। হ্যাঁ, শুনতে দে। ক্লাস নিচ্ছি। থার্ডের সাথে আমার ও আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, তুমি আমাকে বলো। আমি করছি। So okay, so this is all about support vector machine. See the slides again. This is support vector machine. This is support vector machine. This is called hyperplane. These are called support vectors. One class is plus 1, one class is minus 1, and we have to maximize the margin, the hyperplane. Fine. And this is the function. Function consists of the data points, the weight vector, and the bias. Bias is a scalar. Weight vectors are vectors, and H transpose, this is the points. So this is the normal and general formulas of support vector machine. Clear? Mathematically described, ওই w টার্মটাকে mathematically এভাবে describe করা হয়। Maximize the margin means minimize the w. So minimize the function of w. This is the function of w. Okay. Y is a general point, is either at plus 1 or minus 1. So this is all about support vector machine. Clear কিনা বলো, পরেরটা তো যাই।
হ্যাঁ ম্যাম।
এবার আসছি নিয়ারেস্ট নেইবার। এবার আসি আমরা নিয়ারেস্ট নেইবারে। K nearest neighbor. K is a number. If you have two nearest neighbor, then K is equal to 2. You will name it 2 nearest neighbor. If you have 3 nearest neighbor, you will name it 3 nearest neighbor, and so on. So this is K nearest neighbor algorithm. সব পড়ছি, আগে ছবি দেখো। K nearest neighbor or KNN, SVM and KNN. Okay, KNN algorithm is a simple method to determine the class of an unknown pattern. It presumes that the given data points are pre-classified and the level of each class is known. Fine. First, this picture. There are several classes C, C1, C2. There are several data points of several classes. Randomly, they are just like apple, oranges, and bananas basket. In one basket, there are several data points or fruits. C1, C2, C3, and C4. Okay. These are C1, this one, this one, this one, and so on. C2 are there, and C3 are there, C4 are there. Now, randomly select one position, and take the distances of that point. Randomly, you have selected here one point or one position, and you are measuring distances. The distances, different type of distances are in mathematics. Here for our is we are selecting Euclidean distances. Euclidean distance, say you are measuring Euclidean distance, okay, of the nearest point. The name is nearest neighbor. So of the nearest points, you are measuring distances, the nearest points. How many nearest points? If you are measuring distances of 2 nearest points, then your algorithm is 2 nearest neighbor. If you are measuring distances of 3 nearest neighbor. If you are measuring distances between 4, it is 4 nearest neighbor. So from here, you are measuring distances, say 4 nearest neighbors, right? 1. So your closest neighbor is this one. 1. Next one is, I think, C3 or C1. Anyone? Say this one. Next is this one. Next is this one. If you are calculating your 4 nearest neighbor, then your measurement is like this. Up to this, is it okay? Up to this, is it okay?
Yes,
Yes or
ma'am.
no? You are calculating the simple Euclidean distance of your 4 nearest neighbors. So this algorithm is 4NN algorithm. Okay, 4NN algorithm. KNN algorithm has become the 4NN algorithm. Now, from this point, now you will see your neighbors are, one neighbor is from C2, one neighbor is from C3, two neighbors is from class 1. So now write it. Class 1, 2, class 2, 1, class 3, 1. So how many nearest neighbor are maximum? Maximum nearest neighbor is 2. So your conclusion is this point will belongs to C1 class. বোঝা গেছে? এই এক্সাম্পলটা
Yes, ma'am.
থেকে পয়েন্টটা পড়ছে C1 ক্লাসে। তোমরা বলতে পারো যদি আমি দুটো নিতাম, then C1 and C2 it will confuse. যদি আমি তিনটে নিতাম, if I take 3 only, C1, C2, C3, it will confuse, right? So always confusion will occur. Always it cannot decide. So when it cannot decide, it has to take more and more and more neighbors. ঠিক আছে? So it is falling under class 1 from this example after taking 4 neighbors. আচ্ছা, এবার এটা কোন ক্লাসে পড়ছে দেখি। This is a new data point. তো KNN কোন ক্লাসে ইউজ করে? আচ্ছা, দুটোর মধ্যে ডিফারেন্সটা বোঝো। SVM can be used in such cases where you have to separate some data points. You have to separate some data points. ওই অরেঞ্জ আর অ্যাপেলের বাস্কেটটা ছিল, you have to separate the oranges and you have to separate the apples. So in such cases you can apply SVM. Okay, but now if the case is like this, you have a orange basket and you have a apple basket, they are separated already, but now you have a fruit in your hand and you have to choose your fruit is going to in basket 1 or basket 2. Okay, understand? Already labeled and classified data are with you, but one new fruit is in your hand. You have to throw it either in apple basket or in orange basket. This type of decisions will be taken using KNN. Okay, দুটোর মধ্যে ডিফারেন্স বোঝা যাচ্ছে? SVM and KNN কোন কেসে ইউজ করব? I think clear?
Yes, ma'am.
ঠিক। So there is a new data
Yes, ma'am.
point. There is a new data point. So you have to decide whether this data point is going into this light blue class or this yellow class. Okay. So now take some nearest neighbors 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 as you wish. Always greater than 1. Definitely একটা neighbor নিলে হবে না. Always greater than 1. You have to take at least 2 nearest neighbor. Okay, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 10. Take nearest neighbor and decide this data point will be falling under which class. তো মোটামুটি এটা দেখে যেটা বোঝা যাচ্ছে, it will fall under this cyan class, this light blue class. Okay, ঠিক আছে?
Yes, ma'am.
See this example. Okay, this is the data point. This question mark is the data point. If you select k equal to 3, see, then it is falling under which class? Green triangle class, right? If you select k equal to 7, it is falling under this red star class. Always this happen in KNN. Confusing case. বোঝা গেছে? If you select k equal to 3, the nearest neighbor is 1 for this red star class. The nearest neighbors are 2 for this green triangle class. So you will decide that the data point will follow or will fall under this green class. But now class বাড়াও, নাম্বার বাড়াও নিয়ারেস্ট নেইবারের। এবার তুমি যদি k equal to 7 নিয়ে করো, then you will see 1, 2, 3, 4 data points are in the circle. 1, 2, 3 data points of this green class are in the circle. So এটা তখন পড়ে গেল এই ক্লাসে। ওকে, কনফিউজিং কেস।
ম্যাম তাহলে তো আমাকে সবসময় চেঞ্জ করতে থাকতে হবে, লাইক আমি তো
iteration after iteration. KNN is a very good classifier. So you have to iterate. প্রচুর বার আমরা ক্লাসিফিকেশন করি, যে কোনো এক্সাম্পল যখন আমরা প্রোগ্রাম করি, এগুলো তো আর এইভাবে আমরা করছি, বাট আমরা তো আর একটা ডেটা পয়েন্ট নিয়ে কাজ করি না। যখন আমাদের কাছে ডেটা পয়েন্ট থাকে, যখন আমরা প্রোগ্রাম করি, তখন হয়তো আমাদের কাছে থাউজেন্ডসও না, মিলিয়ন্স ডেটা পয়েন্ট নিয়েও কাজ করি। KNN সুপারভাইজড অ্যালগরিদমে তো ডেটা পয়েন্টস প্রচুর থাকে, রাইট? তো সেই রকম কেসে KNN ভীষণ ভালো কাজ করে। ইটারেশন আফটার ইটারেশন, SVM and KNN যে দুটো বললাম, সব থেকে ইউজড অ্যালগরিদম এতদিনের এই দুটো। অ্যান্ড অ্যাকুরেসি আমি নিজে আমার পেপারস দেখলে বুঝবে এসভিএম দিয়ে আমি অলওয়েজ 90% বেশি অ্যাকুরেসি পাই যে কোনো অ্যালগোরিদমে, সবাই পায়। এসভিএম অ্যান্ড কেএনএন এত ভালো অ্যালগোরিদম।
আচ্ছা
ওকে, সো ডেটা পয়েন্ট এরকম সংখ্যা বাড়াও, অনেক বাড়াও ডেটা পয়েন্টের সংখ্যা। ইট উইল
মানে ম্যাম একদম ফাইনালি গিয়ে আমি যেটা দেখবো সেটাই আমি অ্যাসাইন করবো, রাইট? একদম ফাইনাল স্টেজে গিয়ে
আমরা
যেটা
এত
আমি
কম
পাবো
ডেটা পয়েন্ট নিয়ে কাজ করছি,
ইটারেশন করতে
জিনিসটা
করতে
সেই
করতে করতে।
তোমার কাছে কনফিউজিং এই কেসে হয়ে যায়। ডেটা পয়েন্টের সংখ্যা বাড়াতে জিনিসটা অনেক কম্প্যাক্ট রেজাল্ট দেয়। একটা দুটো ডেটা
Okay.
পয়েন্টের জন্য ভুলটা হচ্ছে, দেখো জাস্ট ওয়ান ডেটা পয়েন্ট, তুমি যদি থাউজেন্ডস অফ ডেটা পয়েন্টস নিয়ে কাজ করো জিনিসটা এই ভুলটা আর থাকে না, মেজরিটির কাছেইও যায়। বোঝাতে পারলাম আমি? এখানে তো 3 and 4
Yes, ma'am.
অল্প ডেটা পয়েন্ট নিয়ে কাজ করছে, এটা হতেই পারে। But when you are dealing with thousands of data points, this one or two type of measurement is not valid actually.
Valid.
There it
Negligible
will
ওর কাছে তখন।
itself go to the majority class. ওখানে মেজরিটি ক্লাসটা এরকম হয় না। 800 and
Okay.
200 এর হয়তো একটা 800 পয়েন্টের মধ্যেও পড়ে গেল, 200টা মাইনর ক্লাস হিসেবে থাকলো। সো ওই ধরনের কেসে এটা খুব ভালো কাজ করে। ওকে, অ্যাকচুয়ালি
বুঝতে পেরেছি।
50-50% ক্লাস তো পসিবল হয় না, বেশি হয় না, ওরকম ক্লাস কোথায় পাবে? ওকে, সো আমি এবার দাঁড়াও এটা একটু পড়ি আমরা। নাও ফর অ্যান আননোন প্যাটার্ন, ওটা বোঝা গেছে তো আই থিঙ্ক। তো এবার পড়ছি, হ্যাঁ। ফর অ্যান আননোন প্যাটার্ন represented by a data point x, the distance between x and all the nearest neighbors y. The unknown data point is x and the neighbors are yj. Okay, of x are identified and the count of yj lying in different classes is determined. The count of yj, how many nearest neighbors are there, this are determined. Fine. The class having the largest number of nearest neighbor of x is declared as the class of the unknown data point x. Okay, is it clear? The class having the largest number of nearest neighbor, class 1 from this, class 1 has the largest number of nearest neighbor, right? So the unknown point
ma'am.
x
Yes, ma'am.
is declared as the class of the unknown data point of x. Okay, so class 1 is the winner here. This is okay, this is okay. এবার এই ইউক্লিডিয়ান ডিস্টেন্স দিয়ে আমি দেখেছি, সেটাই লিখেছি। The distance matrix selection is an important problem in KNN. Usually, Euclidean distance is used in most of the literature. However, when the data points in the have a large dimension or the components are not scaled properly, the distance between any two data points ছেড়ে দিচ্ছি। The given set of data points therefore should be normalized by scaling. এটা একটা স্কেল ফ্যাক্টর থাকে। ওকে, এরার ফ্রি তো হয় না, সো একটা স্কেল ফ্যাক্টর আমরা দিয়ে নিই, দেখে নিও একটু। In the simplest case here, k nearest neighbor works fine for lower dimensional data, typically when dimensions is less than 5. Here, 3 তে যেটা কাজ করবে 5 ডাইমেনশনের কম হলে, এটা সরি ডাইমেনশনাল ডেটা বলছে, আমরা তো 2D নিয়েই করছি, ডাইমেনশন নিয়ে আমাদের কাজ নেই। পপুলারিটি প্যাটার্ন, কমপ্লেক্সিটি, কম্পিউটেশনাল কমপ্লেক্সিটি, ফিচার রিডাকশন, এগুলো আর আমরা ডিটেইলে আলোচনা করছি না। When there are millions number of data, before applying KNN, we have to use some feature reduction algorithms. Okay, so this has been, এটা যদি কোনো প্রোগ্রাম করি তার জন্য দরকার। For understanding this much is okay. বোঝা গেছে?
হ্যাঁ ম্যাম।
Now, next one, the basics of neural networks I will discuss today. পরের দিন যদি কোনো এইটুকু পড়িয়ে পরের দিন প্রবলেম করানোর ট্রাই করব। on SVM, on KNN, and on NN. Okay, থিওরি বুঝতে পারলে প্রবলেম আশা করি করতে পারবো। So what is neural network? Neural network, the name, the term has come from neurons in the brain. Okay, the term has come from neurons in the brain. These are the normal neuron structure. মনে পড়ছে? These are the normal neuron structure. কেমন ছিল? Axon and dendron. Axon and ভুল পয়েন্ট আছে। Axon and dendron, and the tips are called dendrites, and the here the some points are there, these are called synapse. ঠিক? Axon axon থেকে dendrons and dendrites and then synapse. যে কোনো একটা নিউরনের স্ট্রাকচার দেখো, the middle round part axon, সেখান থেকে যেগুলো বেরোচ্ছে ডেনড্রনস, ডেনড্রনের টিপ, ডেনড্রনের একেবারে এনি ডেনড্রনের এই যে ছড়িয়ে গেল, দিস আর called dendrites, and the tip of the dendrites are called synapse. Is it clear? Structure of a neuron.
Yes,
Neuron কি করছিল? Neuron receives some inputs, sensory informations. কোথা থেকে যাচ্ছে? From synapse, then dendrites, then dendrons up to axons. ঠিক? And also circulates the
Yes, ma'am.
outputs. Okay, সবই ইলেকট্রিক্যাল স্পাইস দিয়ে হয়। Circulates the output from axon to dendron to dendrite via synapse. ঠিক? Inputs and outputs actions আসছে। When the inputs are coming through synapse, then dendrites, then dendrons and axons, from this dendron something is coming, this dendron something is coming, this dendron something is coming, all are summing up inside the axon. All are summing up, one summary is there. এবার এটাকে ম্যাথমেটিক্যালি ভাবছি আমি। ওকে, বায়োলজি শেষ, নাও কামিং ইনটু ম্যাথমেটিক্স। All the electrical spikes are coming, signals are coming from here, from here, from here. The signals are coming in from different channels, from different lines, and the signals are summing in this action region. ঠিক বলছি? Okay,
yes,
so
Yes, ma'am.
you can assume this biological structure. এই ছবিটা তো বুঝতে পারবে, দাঁড়া, ঠিক আছে, এটাই দেখ। You can assume the biological structure like this. This is called artificial neuron. Okay, this is the biological neuron, this is your mathematical neuron or artificial neuron. Dendrite or dendron, dendrite or dendron, dendrite or dendron, this is your action, and the output of this action is again going to another neuron and another neuron and so on. অতদূর দেখানোর দরকার নেই, just concentrate into one neuron, this one neuron. So this is called, this type of structure is called neural network. বোঝা গেছে? Why this is called neural network? The
Yes.
structure is assumed from biological neuron. This structure is assumed or presumed from biological neuron. So this is called artificial neuron. Structure is okay, just like the biological neuron. The work is also same. So X1 is the information, H2 is the information, Hn is the information. Okay, W1, the inbuilt quality of this particular dendrite. The inbuilt quality of this particular dendrite, the inbuilt quality of this particular dendrite. Here, these are weight. H1 is the information, W1J is the weight, H2 is the information, W2J is the weight, Hn is the information, Wnj is the weight, and one bias is there, should be there for one action, Bj bias for the another action, Bn bias, and so on. One bias should be there, and in the action, this total thing will be summed up. Okay, so the summation is summation over W into X, H1 W1J plus H2 W2J plus H3 W3J dot plus Hn Wnj. Correct? Summing all of this.
Yes, ma'am.
So this sum is summation over I equal to 0 to n Wij xi plus the bias. Clear? Clear I of the?
Yes, ma'am.
ম্যাম ডাব্লিউটা কি আরেকবার বলবেন?
ডাব্লিউ হচ্ছে গিয়ে তুমি নিউরন থেকে যদি ভাবো দ্য ইনবিল্ট কোয়ালিটি অফ আ পার্টিকুলার, প্রত্যেকটার তো কাজ আলাদা, তাই না? কোনোটা কোনো তুমি আঙ্গুল নাড়াতে চাও সেই ইনফরমেশন আসছে, কোনোটাতে তুমি হাত উঠাতে চাও সেই ইনফরমেশন আসছে, এন্ড সো অন। সো প্রত্যেকটার ইনফরমেশনের যে ইনবিল্ট কি আসছে, সেই প্রত্যেকটা ডেনড্রাইটের ইনবিল্ট যে কোয়ালিটিটা সেটা। সো এখানটাতে আমি ওয়েট বলছি, আমার ম্যাথমেটিক্সে ওয়েট, সাপোর্ট ভেক্টর মেশিনে একটু আগে ওয়েট দেখলাম, বায়াস দেখলাম, সেম থিং।
হ্যাঁ ম্যাম।
ওকে,
আচ্ছা
and h1 h2 একটু পরে আমরা দেখব
Ma'am, how to find the value of bias?
how to find the value of
Bias. B.
bias. You will see
Yeah.
when I will do the problem, you will see. Mute. Okay, mute please. Okay, so how to find the value of weight, how to find the value of bias, this type of questions are common. Weights will be given, and bias is basically the class numbers sometimes are bias, either +1 or -1, like support vector machine, +1 or -1. It may be termed as bias sometimes. Sometimes the bias term is given to you. Okay, so this is the just try to understand the method and how to find this, how to find the parameters. We have to learn the problem. We have to see it in some problems. Okay, first try to learn the algorithms and try to understand this. So this is the summation. Okay, the work of this action, and as it is a mathematics, so you have to represent it by a function. Okay, the work done by the action is the output of the action. So work done to a summation একটা টার্ম হিসেবে ছাড়তে পারি না, you have to represent it by a function. তো এটা কি কি ফাংশন হতে পারে, দাঁড়াও সবে আসছি, আমি আগে ফাংশন গুলো দেখাই। These are the common function we use in neural network: linear function, step function, ramp function, sigmoid function, hyperbolic function, hyperbolic tangent, Gaussian function. Okay, these are the common function we use in neural network. ঠিক আছে?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes ma'am.
So these are the neuron in the brain. This is the mathematical neuron. Fine. তো এখানে একটা e টু দি পাওয়ার দিয়ে দেখিয়েছে, তো ওরা ঠিক আছে, পরেরটাতে যাচ্ছে। কে কি করেছে এসব পরে দেখছি। Perceptron. Okay, now the neural network. You will learn two types of neural network: feed forward neural network and backward আমরা দেখবো না, recurrent neural network আর আমরা করবো না। Okay, let's discuss about the feed forward neural network. What is this feed forward neural network? What is this input layer? What is the output layer? What are the hidden layer? This type of layers we will now learn. Okay. This is the basic neuron. See now, what is this weight? Your question is that what is this weights? Now you will get the answer. What is this bias? See this picture, this one, picture number A. H1, different inputs coming from different sources, H1, H2, up to Hn. Each inputs are coming to the dendron or dendrite. So these are the different weight function. Okay. These weight functions actually are the distinguished measure between the dendrites. ওয়েট ফাংশনটা না থাকলে তুমি বুঝতেই পারতে না যে এরা ডিফারেন্ট ডিফারেন্ট ডেনড্রাইটে আসছে। So H1 is going to WI1 dendron, H2 is going to WI2 dendron, and so on. See, so these weight functions must be different. Now, is it understandable? H1 is going to this one. Multiplication. H1 WI1, H2 WI2, Hn WIN. Okay, different dendrite. These all are coming into an action. Okay, and all are summed up here. Fine. Here in this action, one bias has added. What is this bias? Again, bias is the identification of this particular action. Now, is it clear what is bias? Maybe bias is given, maybe bias is +1, maybe bias is -1, or so on. If nothing has been given, try to remember this. If any mathematics you have seen no bias has been given, then write assume bias equal to +1. If you assume bias as +1, your answer will be same. Right? Bias যদি 1 ধরো, multiplication with 1, your answer will be same. ঠিক? But you have to assume bias. Assume bias is as +1, not -1. +1 bias ধরে প্রবলেমটা করে নেবে। Okay, so this is the bias. Bias is the identification of the action. ঠিক আছে? Now the activation function is there.
Yes.
Here one step function has been assumed, and y is your output. This is the neuron, picture of a neuron. Okay, neuron, in terms of neuron, the picture is like this. In terms of network, now let's come to the network. এতক্ষণ আমরা network টার্মটা ইউজ করিনি। See, neurons and artificial neurons, network টার্মটা ইউজ করিনি। Now we will use the term network. How? See, one layer is here, one layer of nodes are here, one layer of nodes are here, one layer of nodes are here, and one node is here. This is called feed-forward network. Okay, this layer of nodes are called input layer. This layer of nodes are called hidden layer. Which is the hidden layer? Your W. Here your W is the hidden layer. Okay, you can see the X, you can see the Y, but in between you cannot see. Or you can see this A, you can say. This summation and the function, you can put it in one block and you can see the Y. Fine. But the in-between things you cannot see. This layer you cannot see. So this is called hidden layer. In neural network, this is the input layer and this is the output layer. These two you can see. And this is the summation block. Here is the summation block. This hidden layer you cannot see. These are the weight blocks. These are called hidden neurons. Okay. Feed forward neural network টা কেমন? দেখো, from this H1 node, প্রত্যেকটা ওয়েট, এটা এই কেসটা কিন্তু না। যখনই নেটওয়ার্ক কিন্তু দেখো, from H1 is feeding all of the forward network. H2 is feeding all of its forward network. Hn is feeding all of its forward network. ঠিক আছে? বোঝা গেছে? Feed forward forward network?
Yes, ma'am.
Feed the forward rear, feed the forward rear, feed forward network, x1 সবকটা। এরপরে এটা মাল্টি লেয়ার হতে পারে, আমি সিঙ্গেল লেয়ার দেখাচ্ছি। যখন তোমরা ডিপে যাবে, ডিপ লার্নিং, এটার মাঝে যে লেয়ার, নাম্বার অফ লেয়ার থাউজেন্ডসও থাকতে পারে, ঠিক আছে? অনেক লেয়ারের পরিমাণ বাড়িয়ে ডিপ লার্নিং তৈরি হয়েছে, সো দ্যাট ইট হ্যাজ বিকাম more and more and more accurate. It is giving accurate results. ডিপ লার্নিং এর তোমরা যত রিসার্চের পরে করবে based on deep learning, so I am telling this. This is the basic feed forward network. This layer is feeding the forward all the layers. Okay, this is the feed forward layer, and it is feeding only one layer is one output layer is there, so it is feeding the output layer, it is feeding the output layer, it is feeding the output layer. The output is from this summation of all of this. ঠিক আছে, feed forward network বোঝা যাচ্ছে? ঠিক আছে।
Yes, ma'am.
A feed forward neural network can contain three kinds of node: monolayer, multi-layer, okay, multi-layer perceptron layer যাচ্ছি না, monolayer and multi-layer। দেখো এখানে আউটপুট লেয়ারও দুটো বলেছে। So see this example. Input, from the input layer, the input layer is feeding, দেখো চারটে hidden layer, there are 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 9 input layers, 4 hidden layers, 2 output layers, okay, in your example. So each input layer is feeding 4 hidden layer, each input layer is feeding 4 hidden layers. See, in this hidden layer, each hidden layer দেখো input points, input nodes are 9, input nodes are 9, input nodes are 9, input nodes are 9, okay, clear? Each hidden layer is feeding
Yes, ma'am.
these two output layer. In the output layer, চারটে hidden layer ছিল, in this output layer input layers are 4, in this output layer input layers are 4, and here is the output, here is, understand? This is the feed forward network. Monolayer হতে পারে, this is the simplest feed forward network that does not contain any hidden layer, input and output. Multi-layer, we have discussed the multi-layer, we are discussing the multi-layer perceptron. Perceptron হবে না, perception লেখা আছে, ঠিক করে নাও। This is the actual term, perceptron. I am coming into perceptron. Multi-layer perceptron has at least one hidden layer, in this case one hidden layer, here also at least না একটা one hidden layer দিয়ে দেখাইনি, sorry, one hidden layer. We will only discuss multi-layer perceptron below, as they are more useful than single layer perceptron in today's real world. Here 4, তাই তো, চারটে hidden layer, so this is a multi-layer. And multi-layer perceptrons, এই দুটো তো একই বলছে, ঠিক আছে ছেড়ে দাও। Multi-layer perceptron and monolayer perceptron, ঠিক আছে, we are discussing the multi-layer perceptron. What are the layers? Input layer, hidden layer and output layer, ঠিক আছে, দেখে নিও। আচ্ছা, feed forward and recurrent. feed forward and recurrent, রেকারেন্টটা হচ্ছে কি একটা ফিডব্যাক পাথ থাকবে, ঠিক আছে? ফিড ফরওয়ার্ডে কোনো ফিডব্যাক পাথ থাকবে না, ইন দিস রেকারেন্ট they do contain one feedback connection. From the output one feedback path will be there for correction. These are recurrent, okay. এই অবধি বোঝা গেছে? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Basics of neural networks, is it clear? আমি কি কি বললাম? Brain, neurons, axon are the summer unit, and dendrite and dendrons are the input units. These are the artificial unit, artificial neuron, axon, this one. X1 is the input, W1, Wx is the input, W is the weight vector, and S is the summing unit, B is the bias. And normal sum functions are there, maybe exponential function, ramp function, linear function, or any tangent function, something. So the output will be, you will get the output like this after summing up all of this. পারসেপ্টর নিয়ে এগুলো নিয়ে সব পরে কথা বলবো আমি যখন প্রবলেম করবো। These are the feed forward. These are the basic. This is the basic neuron, and here is the feed forward. Multi layer নিয়ে কথা বলছি, hidden layer, input layer, hidden layer, and output layer. Multi layer এ তিনটে layer থাকে, input, hidden, and output. Feed forward and recurrent. What is recurrent? If there is a feedback, it's called recurrent. অনেক কিছু আজকে বলে দিলাম। Is it clear to all of you? Is it clear to all of you?
Yes,
Next thing, we will do some problems on back propagation. বলে আমরা back propagation এর problem করব। Back propagation algorithm is nothing but a algorithm of neural network. Okay. We will learn neural network in details next day. Neural networks এর details পড়ব। Then নেইভ বেস পড়বো, নিউরাল নেটওয়ার্ক আর নেইভ বেস, আর এসভিএম কেএনএন এর প্রবলেম করব, নিউরাল নেটওয়ার্ক ফিনিশ করব, নেইভ বেস পড়বো। দেন উই উইল সি হাউ মাচ টাইম লেফট। নেক্সট দিনের ক্লাসের পর নেক্সট আর দুটো ক্লাস পাবো, সো তারপরে আনসুপারভাইজ করে শেষ করবো। সো টুডে we have learned what is machine learning, the basics of machine learning, supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning. Okay. Then one supervised learning is support vector machine, the basic definition, and the linear support vector machine or basic definition, and the basic equations, nearest neighbor basic equations, and the further descriptions, and neural network, artificial neuron, feed forward network, and perceptron আমি বলিনি, feed forward network, recurrent, multi-layer, mono-layer, input layer, hidden layer, output layer, and so on. ঠিক আছে, বেসিক্স অফ নিউরাল নেটওয়ার্ক বলেছি, নেক্সট দিন থেকে একটু ডিটেলসে যাব। ইজ ইট ওকে?
Yes, ma'am.
okay, ma'am.
ঠিক আছে, আমি একটু তোমাদের বলছি, read all of this in your home. Fine. Next day onwards, we will solve some problem here. ঠিক আছে,
ম্যাম
that's all. বলো।
Okay, ma'am.
ম্যাম আমাদের এক্সাম কি অফলাইন হবে বা অনলাইন হবে কিছু যদি বলতে পারে?
এক্সাম এখন অবধি যে কথা আছে অনলাইনই হওয়ার। লাস্ট মোমেন্টে যদি কোনো ইনফরমেশন না আসে, এখন অবধি আমরা জানি অনলাইন হবে।
ওকে,
ঠিক আছে, কোশ্চেন পেপার সেটিং এসব কিছু সবকিছুই অফলাইনে হচ্ছে, বাট এক্সামের কথা রয়েছে হচ্ছে অনলাইন। মানে এগুলো সবই আমরা গিয়েই করছি, যেভাবে নর্মালি হয় তাই হচ্ছে, বাট তোমাদের এক্সামটা মেবি অনলাইন। ঠিক আছে,
হ্যাঁ ম্যাম।
ওকে
Okay, ma'am.
ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ।
Thank you.